To do another live Q&A. So I hope you are with me. And if you are over there on Instagram, I want you guys to head on over to YouTube, because on the YouTube channel, that's where I will be able to answer your questions, see your questions. Okay. If you're on the YouTube channel and you use a super like or anything like that, you give a donation to the channel and to what we're doing, then your question will pop to the top and I will answer yours first. But today, everything that I'm going to talk about is actually going to be coaching advice. So for me, this is an easy one. I'm only going to be on for about a half hour. So if you have questions, any questions that you have, I want them to come after a little section of our mini lesson. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been writing really long messages to our coaching tribe. We have about 1,700 coaches on our email list. What's up, Farnikari? I'm glad you're liking the Better at Beach gear. And with those coaches, essentially, I'm trying to teach them the way that we instruct or guide the coaches at our camps. Now, if you've been to one of our camps, we just have baller coaches. They're awesome. They give of themselves freely. They have man, they have so much passion for sharing and for giving, and that's why they stick around. So if you are a passionate giving coach and you want to coach a Better at Beach camp, get in touch. But we also have a really good structure. So DJ Klasnick, he kind of makes fun of us because of the manual, the amount of detail that we give to everybody. He's like, man, I could steal your business in a second just because you tell us everything, every drill, and how to act and behave and everything. So everything that we do from a coach's standpoint is just really, really intentional. And what I started doing years ago, because I thought that as a coach, for me, I said, there's no way that I could recreate the environment that I create because so much of it felt organic. I thought that when I was coaching, I was mm, I was creating stuff in my own head that would be impossible to explain. And I know that I've had friends who have this. I have friends who have talent jobs and they're freelancers, and they say, there's no way that I could possibly teach somebody else to do what I do the way I do it. And I mean, newsflash, that's what happens every day in the entire world, right? That's what teachers are. So for me, I started creating. Thanks, Nolan. I started creating these little manuals, and I never had the intent of selling them, but some of the people on our coaches list are asking me to create a bigger, deeper one and actually put it up for sale, and that might happen. But for now, all the coaches on our email list are just getting some pretty intense emails from me, and they all come from the manual that we have for our coaches. And what that coaching manual has done for me and for Brandon more than it has for our coaches is it gives us this checklist to know if somebody's running a good practice or not, to know if they're creating an environment that we want or not. There's a set of steps that every one of our coaches should go through at the beginning, middle, and end of every practice, because we are creating an intentional environment. And I think a lot of coaches miss out on this. They say, we just have players with bad attitudes. We just have this. Well, you have to create an environment that allows that to happen and encourages that. And that's what we try to do at our classes. It's what we try to do at our camps. So today, during this live stream, I'm actually just going to read to you from the emails that I'm sending out to the coaches on our list. And if you have questions about coaching, or any of this kind of generates something that you want to share, I want you to ask questions on it. Again, if you're over there on Instagram, I will see your questions better and I'll be able to answer them quickly if you come on over to YouTube and you comment there. Okay. If you're not subscribed to anywhere that we have stuff, please subscribe. Go over to YouTube and subscribe. Okay. So literally, I'm going to read the emails that I sent to the coaches on our list. And if you want to be on our coach mailing list and get and receive all of these emails and receive coaching advice, then just head on over to www.betteratbeach.com/coach. Okay. Now, here's the email. Here's the first lesson for the coaches who sign up for our email list. He goes, "Hey, coach, thanks for being a part of this list. Right now, there's about 1,700 other coaches getting this email, and that's pretty crazy. I just want to say hi and thanks for being part of our email list. And I'd like to share some of my favorite few free tools and wins. We have an opportunity to help each other and get better, and that's what I'm aiming to do. So I'd like to share my journey, and hopefully it helps remind you to be better in some way. So here's my first effort." This is where I go into in the email. I didn't think that I could teach somebody how to coach the way that I coach. Now, everybody coaches different. Of course, everybody's got their own personality and they have to let that come through. But there are certain principles that you absolutely have to follow in order to create a successful environment, a successful company, a successful team. Okay. And one of the other things that I think club directors miss out on is that they don't think that they have a right to teach or tell other coaches how to coach. And I think that's wrong because then it creates a lack of communication. You don't open up those lines of communication and say, "Hey, coach, this is how you improve. This is how you become a better coach. This is what we should do." If everybody stays silent, if the club director never says, "What do you think went well that practice for you as a coach?" Not for your team, not for your players, but what did you do well? What was one thing that you would have taken out of that practice, or how could it have been better? That's the conversation that a club director or a boss or employer needs to have. And those are the conversations that I strive to have at our camps and in our classes. Yeah, Chris, I'm just going through the email that I sent out. I'm glad you're hearing it. So if you're on the email list, you really don't need to hear this. You could just read it. So anyway, I've got a bunch of peers, right? More people than I could count on 20 hands have beaten me in volleyball. So when they're now coaching for my company, in the beginning, I was like, well, I have no right to teach them how to coach because maybe they're smarter than me, maybe they're better than me. But then I realized, wait a second. No, somebody has to steer the ship. Somebody has to create the environment and be willing to help other coaches. The problem with coaches, teachers, bosses is that they get put in charge and then nobody ever demands that they learn or teach again. It's all about performance usually. And so there becomes a lack of continuing education. Continuing education is crucial. And if your company doesn't have it, how are you improving? How is that even motivating to not get better? So again, that's what I'm striving to do in the emails that I send my coaches. I'm trying to provide some sort of free continuing education for them and at least give them things to think about. And when I'm working with the coaches that I know are at my level, have the same amount of experience, all I'm saying is, hey, let's ask questions. This is what I see, and this is what I know needs to happen to create a better practice. Okay. Now, one of the things that we talk about for our coaches is pre-practice. What happens before the practice to create a really good environment? Number one, set up a speaker and a fire playlist. We have a playlist called the Better at Beach Practice Pump. It's filled with my songs. Not everybody loves my songs, but a lot of people do. I know that Chad at our camps loves to put on Big Booty Mix, either 2020 or 2021. It's got some fire songs. The thing is, at our classes camps, we want to create high energy practices and we want to create a fun vibe, right? We want people to come back. So we're not necessarily a team. There might be, depending on what type of team you're organizing, what type of company you have, you might want to create a different mood, right? Would I play the same music at a volleyball practice as I would at potentially like a yoga studio if I owned a yoga studio? No. Similar to a restaurant, right? The playlist that they have has to be curated. You have to pick it. So that's what we're doing with our practices. Number one, you have to set a high energy practice and you have to create the mood. And the way that we do that is you have to have a speaker and you have to set it up, and that has to be playing at practice and before practice starts so that people start their high energy before they even start playing. Okay. What did Tony Bronzer say? Hang on. Let me go back now, Chris. I didn't see it. All right. Okay. The second thing that we like to do that we don't really do well, and I'll admit this, at our camps we don't do it well, and we're not doing it well enough at our classes in Hermosa. But if you're a coach or if you're a player, if you're somebody who wants to improve, set up a camera and a tripod at every practice. The problem is, if you don't sit, let's just say that you don't watch film and you don't care that much. Okay, fine. But the problem is that if you don't set it up, you don't have the opportunity or the option to get better when you can't be on the court. So let's say this, let's say you start playing, you're doing pretty well, or your team's doing pretty well if you're a coach, and somebody gets hurt, somebody gets injured, or you get injured. Now you're on the sidelines for 4, 6, 8 weeks. And because you made the decision not to film any of your practices, you now can't get better. You can't improve yourself. Sure, you can go and do, pro practice or pro matches and try to learn from that. But even when you're looking at pro matches, you have nothing to compare how you look versus how they look. Coaches, if you're doing this, this is easy. Okay? Set up a camera. Live stream it to Facebook. As much as I hate Facebook right now because of all the hacking situations and whatever. But you can live stream it. You can use their servers. You don't need to have memory on your phone. You just need a private Facebook group for your team, your athletes, whatever, and live stream it there. It gets stored on Facebook for forever. Are all of the players on your team going to be the hungry ones that actually go and watch? No. But you've created an opportunity for your hungriest athletes to actually go somewhere else, look at themselves, and try to improve by having film. So if you're a coach and you're not setting up a camera and a tripod, if you're an athlete and you want to get better and you haven't set up a camera and a tripod and you're not either recording it or streaming it to your own private Facebook group, grow up and do it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You should be filming. And if you're going to argue with the value of film, then you're arguing against every top NCAA program, every NFL team, every NBA team. You have to film if you want to improve. And if you're not doing it, if you're not setting up that process as a coach, as a juniors coach, college coach, high school coach, whatever, it's too easy right now. You're failing your team. Fair? Can we all agree on that? Cool. Number 3, and this is all from the first email that I sent to our coaches. Again, if you're watching and you want to get on our coach mailing list, just head on over to www.betteratbeach.com/coach, and you'll see all our options there. Okay. Number 3, every coach must have a watch with a seconds timer. Okay. This is how you'll count drills. Here's what I found early on. When I was coaching athletes, I would say, all right, everybody do 10 reps. Problems. 1, they would stop counting or they forget. And then they get stressed out because they don't really realize how that they're not counting. Do we really want them to focus on counting, or do we want them to focus on their technique and getting better? We want them to focus on their technique and getting better. Okay. Number 2, what happens to other athletes is they do the required number of reps. And because most people only do exactly and only what you ask, for any employee out there, for any athlete out there, for any coach, whatever out there, if you only do what you're asked, the bare minimum, you're failing. Again, I'm feeling a little sassy today. So if you only do what you're asked, you're not doing enough. You're not going to get to the next level. You have to find ways to get extra reps, to do extra things, and steal reps where other people can't find them. I tell this story a lot, but when I was in high school and when I was in college, everybody else would break for water. I would sprint, splash water into my mouth, and then I would go and I would get 7, 8 jump serves before everybody returned to the court because they all wanted to chit chat and I wanted to get better at serving. Okay, so we had to steal reps. So the players that are doing this, you tell them to do 15 reps or 10, 15 reps. Then they sit around and they hold the ball and they look at you. And while people are still trying to finish their exercise, they're thinking, I'm done. They don't continue. So why do we have our coaches wear watches? And why do we keep times during our practice? Number one, it prevents this. We don't say, hey, do this for 15 reps. Now we say, you guys are going to do this for 3 minutes. Everybody start passing. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Players are not keeping track of time. And because they should be focusing on their technique and focusing on the ball, they're not checking their own watches and seeing it. So what they do is they continue to get reps until you tell them time's up. This also gives you the advantage of just continuing, of like when you need to fix one athlete, everybody else keeps going so that you actually have time to go around. Okay. That's the first advantage, is it keeps people going. And it's so hard. Yeah, we get lost and we go, oh, shoot. 30 more seconds. And you do 30 more seconds and they get those reps. The second advantage of having your coaches and any coaches wearing a watch, or at minimum just having a clock nearby, guys, don't bring your phone. If you don't want your kids or your players to be on the phone during practice or checking it during that, you can't be the role model that's sitting there checking your phone, even if it's just a timer. You can't be the one who's consistently looking at your phone, acting as a leader who doesn't want kids on their phones nonstop when you're just doing it. They're gonna copy you. So they're gonna say, oh, well, you got it, and you got nothing to fall back on. Okay. So wear a watch. But what this does is now this sets a future precedent so that you can actually plan your practices better. Because if you use a clock, then you make sure that you get through your entire schedule. If you don't, and you just kind of get lost, you might not get through everything you needed to get through in that practice. So when you set a timer, when you set your practice plans, and when you time it out, you should stick to that. That's your schedule. If you didn't like your schedule, okay, next practice, change it up, but you know how much time everything takes now, right? If you do drills and you don't know how much time each drill takes, how are you going to plan efficient practices when, shoot, you only got an hour and a half now because it was raining for 30 minutes? So you have to wear a watch. You have to start timing your practices so that you can be coordinated and you can be professional moving forward. Okay, that's going to make you a better coach overall, and it'll help you be a better practice planner. I will take this time to say we have over 200 drills, beach volleyball drills. We have 58. I know it says 53 somewhere on our website, but now we have 58 full 2-hour practice plans that you guys can check out if you want to. It's betteratbeach.com/practice plans. Or if you just head to betteratbeach.com/coach, it'll lead you to our practice plans. Those are timed out, minute to minute, divided by category. So if you want to check that out, more than welcome. Okay. Now, that's the pre-practice. So we're still on pre-practice. Okay. And one of the other tips that we have for pre-practice is that our coaches must wear a shirt with Better at Beach, and it should be a Better at Beach coach shirt. If you're wearing a hat, it must be a Better at Beach issued hat. And we make sure that we get all of our people that equipment. A uniform commands respect and presents professionalism. I did this early. I showed up in candy cane pajama pants when I was coaching on the beach just because I was exhausted, cold, and I don't think I could afford better pants than my candy cane pajama pants. Um, but what we're doing is we're showing somebody how to be professional. And from a marketing standpoint, everybody else who's off the court, like for the business, they know who to go talk to. That's a good thing. You recognize who's in charge. It creates a sense of this is important. My coach takes care about how he takes care of his personal presence, his professionalism. And that means that if he gives meaning to those little details, then the little details that he's giving to me make more sense, and can provide more. So I know that there are those Yoda style old school coaches out there that can still show up and wear whatever you want. And okay. But if it's a company, if it's a club, if it's a team, you got to show up wearing some form of professional outfit, whatever you're wearing. Bosses, club directors, ADs, coaches who have assistant coaches get on this train and have people show up in a professional manner with things that you want them to wear. It creates pride in the club. It creates recognizing a brand or a team and showing some importance to that. Okay. So, beyond that, that was the end of that first email that I sent to our coaches. If you want to be a part of this coach email sequence, you are more than welcome. Just head on over to betterbeach.com/coach, and I'll be able to send you all of my coaching advice. Okay. We do have some questions from our Facebook group right now. So, Amy Staniforth, what are your thoughts on, oh no, I can't see it. Let's see. What are your thoughts on parents learning these coaching skills as well to use when practicing at home? Amy, I think it's a great idea for coaches to, or for parents to learn how to coach and to learn what you're reviewing during practices. Here's what I do when I coach my youth, like the real little kids. What's up, Paulo? The real little kids. We have these classes on Sundays, and I don't go to a lot of them, but I encourage the coaches to do this as well. So many parents want to help their kids get better, right? They go home, and my brother went through this. He had 2 daughters, and he was like, how do I don't know how to make her get better. Like, I learned how to throw a baseball, but I never really learned how to pass a volleyball. So what I want to be is involved in my kids' learning, my kids' improvement, my kids' process. So they need tools to be able to play with their kids at home. Imagine you're a parent and you are the bottleneck preventing your kid from being a great athlete. Why are you the bottleneck? Because you're the one not repping out with them at home. You're the one who is dual sitting on Netflix and a phone while your kid and you could be getting reps. You could be throwing them a ball. I've seen it. I've seen kids who are literally craving ball sports, and because they don't have the ball sport parents, they don't get out there and they don't do it with them. And so now what could have been this amazing athlete, because they're so passionate and because they already love the sport, they're bottlenecked by their own parents because the parent either feels incompetent in the sport or refuses to get off the damn phone. Okay. So what we do now, going back to our youth classes, is I go after I coach the kids and I say, hey, parents, this is what we did today, because coaching a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old is almost the same as coaching a complete beginner. You're giving them the same tips and the same easy to succeed drills. So we go over after the practice to the parents and I say, hey, parents, here's what we did today. Here were the 3 really good pieces of advice that we gave to your kids. And I don't know if you were watching, but here is the very easy drill that you can do at home. Demonstrate, have the parents do it once. Do you guys have any questions? No? Amazing. Okay, so if you want to play or if you want to go home and work with your kid, you can. And just remember, We have a practice plan, so don't try to offer any advice outside of what we gave them. It might confuse them. We have our own teaching pattern, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. This is what more coaches should do, especially youth coaches. And if you are a parent and you just wish that your kid could get better and you want more drill ideas to do from home, we have a number of those on our YouTube channel. You can search home or solo drills, and you could also just sign up for our membership and then get a whole plethora of drills and practice plans and advice so that you actually know what's going on when your coaches are teaching your kid. Parents, don't be the bottleneck for your kid. Allow them to get reps. Be the person who throws or catches for them. And coaches, don't be the bottleneck for your hungry parents who want to help their kids succeed. Show them how to rep out and simple exercises that they can do at home. Your team's going to get better. Your parents and their kids are going to have a good relationship, and your parents are going to be cued in because they actually know what you guys are working on. Okay. So I appreciate that question, Amy. That was actually a really important thing for us to talk about. Okay. Noelani Cho, what's on your top playlist for energy? I don't know. I think it's a lot of like high energy covers of old school songs. That's what works for us. And then on Tuesdays at our camps, it's Country Tuesday, which JM leads a bunch of, what do you call it? Line dancing. So we have fun. Whatever energy you want to set up, just type in to YouTube or Spotify, high energy playlist, fun playlist for kids, whatever you want. Okay. All right. Now, Aaron, Praise. Guys, if you want to ask some questions and you're not on the YouTube channel, do me a favor, subscribe. It'd be nice. Come on over and then you can ask some questions because that's where I peel all of my questions from. Now, Aaron Praise says, love all your videos and appreciate your help with becoming a more complete player. Oh, Aaron, thank you for saying that. That's nice. Appreciate you. Dustin Blocker says, truth, I coach kids indoor and beach, and a lot of parents are eager to learn. So we work to get them involved. Great tip, Mark. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that little support. Yeah, guys, I do also hear a lot of coaches. If you're a coach out there, I hear a lot of you saying that you don't have enough support. You have too many kids. You're looking for drills that you can do when you have too many kids or you have uneven numbers. Number one advice, sign up betteratbeach.com/practice plans. We give you all the times. We give you how to rotate your players. We show you about small groups and station work and everything like that. But number two, ask your parents to be involved. It's as simple as, hey, parents, can anyone help us shag so that the kids could get more reps today? Just having people to collect balls and get them back into the cart can, I'm going to make up a number here, but it can increase your reps by 30% that practice. Imagine your kids never have to stop to collect balls. They just go to the back of the line, keep repping, non-stop reps. All you had to do, because parents want to get their steps in, right? You got some moms and dads sitting on the side. They want to get their, whatever it is, 10,000 steps in for that day. So give them the opportunity to do that. Make them healthier, make them more involved in the club, and say, it would be great if you could shag. Wouldn't it be great if your parents would help then learn how to toss balls in? We do this all the time. People who are watching on the side and we need some more reps. And I say, hey, there's an advantage because instead of one line of 6, we can have 2 lines of 3. So now I've got this opportunity because I have people on the side, I have parents, and I teach them. Now you have to teach the parents, of course, how to bowl the proper ball. You have to say, all right, no coaching though, because I'm the coach. Or if you know that they have quality information, of course, you can give them some freedom. But people are hungry to help. People are hungry to be involved. And 90% of the time, they just need an invite. They just need an invite. So invite them. If you're a coach, you're a club director out there, and you're struggling with numbers or anything like that, ask the parents who can help toss this practice, who can help collect balls this practice, who can be a target this practice and catch. That's going to give a lot of value. It's going to increase your reps per minute, and you're going to be a better coach. Okay, I got time for 2 more questions, and then I think I'm going to play beach tennis. I need some play. Dustin, you said on younger kids under 10, what's your best advice when you rep, but a younger player still isn't picking up a simple skill? How do you, as a coach, stay calm and continue to work the underlying issue? Dustin, I never actually get mad as a coach anymore. As a younger coach, I used to get really frustrated, but now it's all, I treat myself as a mechanic and any athlete as a car. Like, if you know that a car is broken and you know the problem, you just keep working on it until it's fixed. You never get to the point where you're like, God damn this stupid car. Yeah, at some point you do that, but that's only when you don't know what's going on. If you know the problem and they're applying it, it's just about reps. If you don't know the problem, then I would say again, and I know it's like pushing our programs, but all of the advice, all of the videos, all the private lessons that we have in our library, you're going to hear so many different types of tips. And, I've got 100 ways to tell someone how to pass a ball well. And because we have coaches that help us build, I also get their knowledge and we put it into all of our practice plans and our manuals. So to say that they're not picking up a simple skill, you just need to increase the size of your tool belt. Okay. Ways to tell them things, cues to give them, which places on their body to tighten, or external goals. Something outside of their body instead of inside of their body. This is we learned from JM and John Mayer. That's showing them what their goal is externally to be able to help them pass. And I'll give one that JM always uses at our camps. When a player stands up, right, and the ball kind of just goes backwards and you see that vertical chest. One way that I know John Mayer and JM, again, they create an external goal. So instead of saying, hey, stay forward with your body, they put a towel folded in half over their neck and over their shoulders. And they say, keep the towel on your back. Now, it can't be a long towel because that'll be too easy. It's got to be like only up to the tops of the shoulders, and you have to keep it on the back of your neck. That's an external goal that allows somebody to keep their shoulders forward. So instead of saying keep your shoulders forward, you've created something, an objective that forces that to happen. And like I said, I've got hundreds of ways to do that, to make something make sense to somebody. I even did it yesterday with an open player where I was teaching him how to SWAT block. Told him. And then on the 5th different way that I told him, he finally understood it. Okay. So increase the size of your tool belt by learning from other coaches, watching other people coach, attending other coaches' practices, and signing up for online coaching programs so that you hear other coaches say this. Most coaches, they work in a silo. You show up to practice, you are the only voice you hear. And then maybe sometimes something on Instagram, but usually you're not watching people coach and solve problems on Instagram. You're watching them create these mass videos. Dustin, if you ever want to either become a better at beach certified coach, let me know. If you want to be a volunteer coach at any one of our camps, we have volunteer coaching positions where you show up, you pay your own way, but we give you a shirt and we teach you what our coaches are learning in exchange for you helping practices run better. So if you want to join us for a 3 or 7 day camp, Dustin, DM me at Mark Burrick on Instagram, or you can, if you see my name on Facebook, Mark Burrick Beach Volleyball or Investor Entrepreneur, something like that. DM me, find a way to get in touch, and then we can get you as a volunteer coach at one of our camps. You help us, we help you. You learn how to coach, and we enjoy the sun together. Okay. Now, there was one question, Mr. Andrew Stiller. Would you ever consider doing beach camps in other cities or countries like Vancouver, Canada? Mr. Andrew Stiller, if you're still there, we've done camps and clinics in Vancouver. I ran one before we had Better at Beach in India. I used to coach in Australia. The answer is yes. We need facilities. We need hotels near those facilities, and we need the ability to, have access to the courts and rent them. And then we can do a 3 day or a 7 day camp there. Usually, we do the experimental run with a 3 day, and we're always looking for really cool locations. So let me know as soon as you have courts that are rentable in a high volleyball population area. Make sense? Okay, got it. All right, thanks, Andrew. Yeah, guys, if you want us to run a camp anywhere, let us know. I mean, our schedule is packed. It's a competitive season, so most of our coaches are rocking and rolling with their seasons. This is my first season not competing. Gotta say, it feels good to have all this extra time in my life and have a lot of creative energy back. But it's fun to watch all my buddies competing. So, guys, I have 3 more minutes if any of you have questions. And if I don't see a question pop up in 1 minute, I'm going to head out because I need some sun. As an athlete and a coach, I've been at a computer too long, coaching through emails and typing, and I would like to play. So let me know if you guys have any last questions before I go. If you have questions on coaching, head to betteratbeach.com/coach. If you have questions on anything volleyball, if you type in, here's how I started researching all the videos we put out, because we've put out hundreds now. I just go to Google or YouTube and I type in better at beach, my question. Better at beach topic. If I have a volleyball workout question, I know that we've put out workout videos on our channel. So I went to YouTube, but because I couldn't find them. And I said, all right, forget this. I'm going to type in on YouTube, better at beach fitness. No, better at beach workout. Oh, okay. All of my videos popped up. So better at beach passing, better at beach setting. Go ahead, type it in. It'll give you all of our information that we've put out for free. And so, our coaching program, our complete player program, you get access to all of our courses, 21-day workout programs and 30-day workout programs. Our max vertical, all of our practice plans. This is all just for $39, $39 a month. And you get access to every course and every program we've ever made. And here's a kicker that everybody should be really excited about. Our Facebook group. You get to post any and all videos of your drills and exercises and games and matches that you want. And you get coaching on it within 24 hours. That means that we are watching your film. If it's your own film, your practice, your match, cool. You can post that. We just keep the clips under 30 seconds, I believe, and you can ask questions there. Or you can use the drills that we give you in all of our skill and workout programs, and we teach you about technique. We fix your game. We fix your decision making. So if you want to check that out, head to betteratbeach.com/coaching, and you'll be able to see that. But if you want the opportunity to have like a 24/7 coach in your pocket because you actually want to win tournaments or improve at this game, built it. I'm pretty proud of it. I love the fact that anybody can have access to coaching no matter where you are on earth. So long as you've got an internet connection and access to Facebook, you can post that video of yourself playing. We'll coach you. So I would love for you guys to join. Megan, loving the Max Vertical program? Cool. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying it. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you for joining. Appreciate your time. And I will check you later. See you on the sand.